This event marked the making of history. The Goods and Service Tax, or the GST, was launched at midnight on July 1st last year. Then President Pranab Mukherjee and Prime Minister Modi launched what is termed as the biggest tax reform since independence.
It is the most significant economic reform in independent India. And basically what it means is that instead of having a plethora of taxes and varied taxes across different states, you now have a unified system of taxation, which is instead of sales tax and VAT, you have an integrated GST system across the country. So effectively the country becomes borderless. Otherwise every state was virtually a nation in taxation to itself.
The launch of GST kicked in the process to streamline Indian business. The large chunk of what has remained informal, populated by small traders, which existed outside the frame of tangible identities. The paperwork, which was often riddled with leaks, fed corrupt small roots who ducked the taxes, was to be checked by the GST regime.
In the previous regime, from the first stair to the cabin of the assessing officer, we were supposed to pay this much amount to this guy, to peon, to this and that, because of getting things done. Whereas under GST, everything will be done on computer. So you need to have a system with you, and if you are in system, then there is no problem. Of course, it will be a challenge for tax evaders. Now it will not be easy for the evasion of tax or evasion of transactions. Ultimately, everything will be under the scanner of the government.
And the results have been promising thus far. The collections from the Goods and Service Tax crossed Rs 1 lakh crore mark in April this year, according to data released by the Finance Ministry. The total revenue from the new indirect tax in April was Rs 1,03,458 crore, the highest recorded in a single month since its implementation in July 2017. In further good news, the GST returns rose from 57% for July 2017 to nearly 63% for March 2018. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley called this a landmark achievement and a confirmation of increased economic activity.
जितने भी डेवलप्ड इकोनॉमी है उसमें इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स का शेयर ज़्यादा होता है। उससे क्या होता है कि टैक्स बेस इंक्लूसिव होता है। आप अगर टूथपेस्ट खरीदते हो तो आपको टैक्स देना है। अब केवल पर्सनल इनकम पे या जो सैलरीड क्लास पे केवल टैक्स लेवी करके आपको कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला। आप इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाओगे, उसमें लीकेज को रोकोगे, तो जीएसटी इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने का बहुत अच्छा मूव है।
अराउंड इफ सम स्टेट इज इंपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द अदर स्टेट, द ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट वाज एट अराउंड 6%. That was impacting the price cost margins of the producers. So now with the implementation of GST, this transaction cost is going to be zero or at a very minimum level.
Even though the GST had been widely welcomed by the traders, they're also seeking government's help to simplify it further.
The small traders, they don't have technology. Still there are about 60% of the trading community across country those who doesn't have computers. So it would be better on the part of the government that first we equip them with the system. Let us bring out a scheme, maybe under skill development or under any other scheme, that the people, those who doesn't have technology, we should align them with technology. And once they are aligned with the technology, we need to educate them how to use technology.
The filing procedures were quite complex, particularly for small industry. But I must compliment the government. The government in the first 4 months listened very carefully to industry, took the feedback of the users of GST, and they were quite willing and speedily redressing the issues that came up during the GST implementation. And I think they still have an open platform to receive inputs from various users of GST.
The system of GST has now begun to show results. International agencies too have affirmed that Indian economy is gradually coming out of the effects of note ban and GST implementation and look good enough to grow beyond the rate of 7% in terms of the GDP. In Delhi, Rajat for Rajya Sabha TV.